Picture a high-stress confrontation. You are in the middle of an argument, and the person across from you drops a heavy ultimatum. Either you do things their way, or they are walking out the door. When someone resorts to this tactic, they usually have no intention of actually leaving. This is a false ultimatum. It is a highly calculated bluff. Their goal is to weaponize your fear of losing them. By threatening to pull the plug on the relationship or the deal, they expect you to panic, beg them to stay, and immediately surrender your boundaries. Today, we are going to neutralize that threat. We will break down a 4-step communication strategy known as the open door policy. By mastering this exact sequence of physical and verbal actions, you will flip the conversational power dynamic and strip away their leverage, all without ever raising your voice. Step 1 is to anchor your reaction. This starts the exact microsecond the threat leaves their mouth. Before you do anything else, you must physically freeze. Stop whatever momentum your body has, take a silent breath, and do not let a single word escape your lips. If you panic and yield to their demand, you teach them that threatening you is the absolute easiest way to get what they want. If you get angry and yell, you prove that their threat successfully disrupted your emotional state. You lose either way. Instead, you move to step 2. Establish the power pause. You are going to let a heavy, highly uncomfortable silence fall over the entire room. Look closely at the expression on this face. As you maintain the silence, your features need to match this exactly. Keep your jaw completely relaxed, your eyebrows perfectly neutral, and lock into unblinking eye contact. Hold this pose for 3 to 4 seconds. That unbroken silence is going to noticeably spike the tension in the room, making the person across from you expectantly uncomfortable as they wait for your reaction. Because you are not reacting, the burden of action shifts right back onto the aggressor. You force them to sit in the suffocating awkwardness of their own breath. Achieving this absolute physical and emotional stillness is a mandatory prerequisite. You have to secure this baseline before you mount any kind of verbal defense. Once that heavy silence has done its job, it is time for the verbal counterattack. This brings us to step 3, deliver the script. Your vocal delivery here must be flawless. Keep your tone entirely calm, flat, and deadpan. Strip away any trace of emotional inflection. This text shows your first acceptable option. You acknowledge the threat without bowing to it by saying, "I understand. If that is your decision, I will not stand in your way." If that feels unnatural, this layout offers an alternative script that achieves the exact same result. That is your choice to make. I accept it. Do not add a single word to either of these scripts. The moment you try to explain yourself or add a justification starting with the word "but," you destroy the flat neutrality that makes the tactic work. The exact second your script concludes, you immediately initiate step 4, the physical disengagement. You physically turn your body away from the manipulator, break eye contact, and calmly resume whatever task you were doing before the confrontation started. If you stand still and wait for their reply, you invite further argument. By turning away, you are literally leaving the door open for them to exit and definitively ending the negotiation. By delivering an emotionless script and physically walking away, you completely remove the leverage they were trying to exploit. Let us look at the exact position the manipulator is left in once you turn your back. This diagram demonstrates the devastating psychological aftermath. A false ultimatum relies entirely on your fear of loss. When you remove that fear, the entire foundation of their threat collapses, and the balance of power shifts to you. Notice the position they are in now. Because they were bluffing, they have to face an embarrassing reality. They must choose between executing a threat they never actually meant or awkwardly backtracking so they can stay in the room. A high-value individual does not negotiate with or yield to emotional terrorists. They calmly dismantle the threat. By practicing these 4 steps, you stop being a target for coercive control. You become the one holding all the power in the room.